Hey viewers, here to give my review of Fairy Tail Chapter 491, Mother and Child. To me, I felt like this chapter was a little all over the place. Very funny chapter, but some things I didn't really agree with. So let's start off with two things I don't like. One is Gajo. How the heck is he back? It's not, okay, they give a reason why he's back, but it's just the way it happened, it sounds too plot armorish, which has been a kind of a big problem for Fairy Tail ever since it's come out. But fuck, man, it's the war arc. How much longer are we gonna have to go through this without us without us feeling like, oh, these threats can be legit, this war is legit, or you could die? Right now, I'm like, this chapter kind of lessened the threat to me. I don't like it, and the fact that Gajo has plot armor around him because he's a freaking dragon slayer, and we have the same for Agnologia. But come on, man, we're going against the Spring on 12, which were hyped up like crazy. See, here's the thing I don't like, is that when Gajo died, or went to the underworld, we saw him get sucked in. He's sucked into the freaking underworld. Then a whole chapter goes by. Then Elaine does her crazy match. She does her Universal 1. So you're telling me her power was able to reverse Gajiel from going down to hell, the underworld, for a full chapter and just completely reverse that? A full chapter of him diving down to hell. Is there a line? Does it take that long to get down there? Must be a long line. Is it like souls by souls waiting to get in line to go to hell? Is it like Dragon Ball Z? Is that what happened here? That doesn't make any sense to me. She's able to pull this guy out from falling to the underworld. It just reverses it like that. That's what Zero explained. So that felt like bullshit. Sorry, I'm just saying it. I didn't like that at all. And even if you were going to bring Gonjo back, why so quickly? At just 2 chapters he's been gone, and that's it. The emotions don't feel justified anymore now. I love that chapter when Gonjo went, when he was pouring out his heart. It was amazing, loved it, but then it gets fucking tossed to the side when he comes back. Doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna bring him back, take some time or make Gajiel work for it. I would have loved it if Gajiel was in another dimension, and let's say like his soul is in that dimension and he has to, let's say, go get his body from the underworld, where he has to work down there to get his body and find his way out. That's what I thought would have been awesome if they had gone that route when Zero popped up. That would have been awesome. I thought that would have been cool, but instead, Eileen just reverses it like that, and it just seems too convenient for her to do it at the same time, right when Gajo is about to fall to the underworld. There's just so many conveniences sometimes in Fairy Tail that some I can overlook, but this one I just couldn't overlook because it's Gajo. It's one of my favorite characters. I did not like that at all. Another thing I didn't like: how is Zera alive? The way they explained. Okay, first off, let me get this right. The only reason why, apparently, from what we know, that Zera was alive, or in the past, because her original self, the original Zera, died. Her body died. The only reason why she was alive in the first place was because Mavis used her magic and created her own imagination of her. And for years, she thought that was the real Zera. So when she found out that Zera wasn't real, and that she accepted that Zera was gone, Zera disappeared. Her magic disappeared. What I don't understand is, how does it that she comes back just because Mavis wakes up from her stasis of being in the fairy heart? That doesn't make any sense to me. She wakes up, and then that's how Zera is reborn? Wasn't Zera only alive in the first place just because Mavis thought she was actually alive? She didn't. I thought her dying or her disappearing in Fairy Tail Zero was because she disappeared because Mavis accepted that she was no longer there with her. She finally had come to the conclusion that she wasn't there. So she moves on. Zera disappears. But just because Mavis reawakens, that causes Zera to come back? Does that retract all of Mavis's memories? And does Mavis not forget that Zera was actually dead? That doesn't make any sense to me. And here's the thing, is that here's the thing. Then she says it's only temporary. Zera is only back temporarily, but once Mavis realizes who she is or sees her, she's gonna disappear? How does that work? I don't get it. I'm so confused on that. That doesn't make any sense. Am I missing something? I read the chapter twice. I'm trying to see if I didn't miss anything. She says that once Mavis realizes she's here, unless I read a really bad translation. I'll read it tomorrow just to make sure. Unless there is like, it's just hard for me to understand. I just did not like it, and those two things, Gajil and Zera, kind of killed it for me this chapter, because this chapter was funny. I still laughed at like half of the chapter after that part. I laughed at the other stuff. I laughed at Gajil realizing that he threw his heart out for Levi, and he thought those were his last words. And now that he realizes that he's not dead, he's like, oh shit, I have to deal with that now. I have to actually face her. That was funny, but at the cost of the other things, it wasn't worth the laugh. What else? Oh, Zara, her character's the same, She got flustered with Gajil. Got some good comedy moments, but those two things kind of like took away some of the other great things from the chapter. Like, for instance, Eileen. Man, you want to talk about OP? She's got like the freaking Mangekyo Sharingan or something, like Rinnegan up in the air, like some Tsukuyomi type shit. Like it looks like she can watch the entire continent. What? That's so OP. But at least she's living up to her hype. She's living up to the hype, unlike the rest of the Spring 12 who fall so fast that we don't get attached to these characters or realize how much of a threat we are. Eileen's living up to the hype. I want August to continue to live up to his hype. He just needs a little more screen time, but Eileen is living up to it. And then, I think she senses Urza from because Urza's like right next to her, because like after she did her magic, she realizes how close she is to Urza, Lucy, Gray, and Juvia. They're all there. Basically, Team Natsu's all there. That's who's there. She realizes, and she has a sense. She's like, oh, she sees her. I think she sees Urza, and she's like, scarlet hair? Could it be? And then it seems like, oh, she gets a sense that she's related to Urza somehow. So I'm thinking, is she Urza's sister? Because she looks way too young to be her mother. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's fairy tale. That's way too young, way too beautiful. You're not a mom. You're not a mom. You're not a MILF. I've seen MILFs, but you're a gorgeous young lady. But here's the thing with this girl. She knows Eileen. She knows magic from way past, even before Agnologia. Who is she? I can understand if she was Urza's sister, but it just seems like it's too simple. But the thing is, sometimes I try to put more into this story than I do, and then Hiro just always simplifies it for me, and I'm like, okay, that was it, right? But sometimes I let my imagination wild. I honestly wonder if she's like, this girl's like from the future or something, because she looks like a mixture of Urza and Joe Law. And I think I heard that theory somewhere else. I'm not coming up with it. I think I heard it somewhere. I haven't seen anyone talk about it on YouTube yet. Maybe I have. I'm wrong. But she looks like a mixture of Jalal and Urza from like a future daughter of her. Like, if you take out the scarlet hair, she looks a lot like Jalal. Her face, just her face. So that's what I'm going with. Let's see what Hiro does with this. What else was in this chapter? We got the sidekick little girls. I forget their names. I guess they're gonna target Mary Jane, and they seem to be intrigued by her because I'm glad we're gonna see Mary Jane fight. I want to see her fight, go badass. We haven't seen much of her fighting, not since the Tartarus arc, and she even said that she had her own time skip of training. So that's gonna be interesting to see. And here's another question that I'm gonna talk about the last part. Zara. She was able to talk to all of Fairy Tail and lead them to the guild. How? And was she ever known to have that kind of power? She is apparently a part of Mavis, but she has that kind of power. When has she ever been able to do that? I don't know. Where'd that come from? They didn't show in Fairy Tail Zero for having that power, for talking to the whole guild, I believe Warren, he can do that. He can talk, but he's like guiding them with their voice. That's powerful stuff. Now, the only way I can see Zero being back, where I'm like, all right, that's cool. It's my own little theory, but I don't know. I just have this weird feeling about Zara. Like the way when she said to Gagio, like, oh, like, I'm on your side, right? I'm trying to do the eyebrow thing. I'm on your side, right? I am on your side. And she has like this weird look. I don't know. I have these theories left and right, man. And I don't trust anyone when it comes to anime and manga, even if it is fairy tale. I'm always doubtful about something. So I'm still questioning Zara and her being back and her motivations, because that's it for me, guys. Fans Artist here. Hope you liked the review. I am out.